Because the sky is falling here in Vancouver, because Jim Rutherford's commentary is pretty much going full scorched earth on this team, you had to get some positive news in there. And start talking about stuff that actually inspires hope and no ill feelings. Yeah. Let's talk about the Montreal Canadiens, because when it comes to the guys that are in the prospect pool, obviously the one name that we've all been paying attention to was drafted 5th overall in the most recent 2024 draft. We've been making a bunch of videos about him throughout the year, and now it's time for a little bit of a bookmark, because today we are talking about Ivan Demidov and his very first KHL hat trick. As always, the show is brought to you by ExpressVPN. Go out there and check out Express. It's the first link in the description. Our affiliate page will help you save some money and get some free months on your VPN, all while supporting the channel in the process. Earlier this morning, we saw Ivan Demidov and SKA St. Petersburg play off in a game against Vityaz Moscow region. It was a 4-1 win for SKA, and as you can see by the game log, Ivan Demidov in 20 minutes and 59 seconds of time on ice scored himself 3 goals on 6 shots for his very first KHL hat trick. Now, if you want to talk about some of the numbers, Demidov is up to 40 points on this season, and he is 2 points away from tying KIRILL KAPRIZOV'S KHL U20 point producing record. This, of course, has been a really big deal that a lot of people have been talking about over the course of this season. If you head over to the production here, KIRILL KAPRIZOV in his 19-year-old year had 42 points in 49 games played, 20 goals, 22 assists. He also had 3 goals in 5 KHL playoff games with Silayev. SKA St. Petersburg, a team which has never seen a young guy do as well as Demidov has done. Demidov is already doing some super impressive things with the team, but of course he has one more game to match KIRILL KAPRIZOV'S mark of 42 points in 49 games. The fact, though, that Demidov does have more games to play after this season is going to automatically guarantee him to breaking the record, even if he doesn't get it next game. He'll still have up to 67 total games, so 19 more games on the season for Demidov to get 2 points. He'll break the record. We already know that. It's just, we'd already spoken about this, but for Silayev, the team that Kaprizov was playing on when he was in the Russian system as a young dude, a lot more opportunity there. Even last year we saw with HK Sochi and Matvey Mishkov, there's opportunity for young guys around the KHL, just not usually with SKA St. Petersburg or CSKA Moscow. KIRILL KAPRIZOV had his 20-year-old year with CSKA Moscow. He had 40 points in 46 games, so roughly the same point production that Demidov has right now, although Kaprizov was a year older, playing for CSKA. So things are a little bit different nowadays when you think about it, especially since back when Kaprizov was playing, he also had to break off some of the KHL season due to being at the World Juniors and dominating over there. Demidov, unfortunately, does not have the World Juniors to participate in. So, unfortunately, with all the Russian hockey being omitted from these tournaments, it opens the door to more extended periods of time in the KHL, which is what Demidov has. It's why he's going to get all the extra games played. Kaprizov didn't get that. Anyways, let's go over to SKA's 4-1 win versus Vityaz Moscow region from earlier today, because as we had said, Demidov did score himself a hat trick, his first in the KHL, and all of the goals were so beautiful. The first goal of Ivan Demidov's night came off of a really nice cycle play where Demidov sends the puck down low and then he waltzes to the front of the goal. The play comes back out in front of the net. He's there for the 1T. He shoots. He scores. Second goal of the game for Demidov. SKA retains the puck off of a clearing attempt by Vityaz Moscow. And then Demidov, putting himself in the right spot once more, receives the pass on the left side. Really nice pass with an open lane to the goal in front of him. He buries it into the open cage. And then his third goal, really on the open cage. Demidov takes it in his own zone, and then right at the center mark, he ends up shooting it into the open net. So a long-range snipe by Demidov. That's his first hat trick. And the KHL even had this silly video where Demidov was posing with an SKA St. Petersburg hat on the bench, and I mean, look, the guy is gonna have some fun with this, of course. We love to see some personality bring itself onto the ice. I know in Rogers Arena here in Vancouver, there's a system where if there's a hat trick scored, like the one that I saw live in December, Kiefer Sherwood against the Avalanche, if you toss your hat onto the ice, you're actually able to go over to guest services and get it later, I'm pretty sure. I didn't toss my hat into the ice, unfortunately, because I was sitting behind the really big net. I would have had to toss my hat like 3 stories into the air in order to actually get it over the netting there. So unfortunately, I didn't participate. I'm not too sure how it is in Russia, but Demidov was going out there and having some fun with a hat. But I also noticed that with the goals that he had scored today, of course, empty netter aside, we can ignore that one, but the goals that he had scored were results of Demidov putting himself in the perfect spot at the perfect time. Obviously, you can't camp out just in the front of the net and wait for everything to happen around you. You need to open up those small pockets of space and exploit them. Be in the right position at the right time in order to get that pass and in order for your teammates to say, oh, I've got a guy right there. Perfect. Toss it in there, and then it's in. Both times, Ivan Demidov exhibited elite playmaking and game management just by acknowledging the space and putting himself at the right spot. Of course, it's on his teammates to find him there when he's in that position, but he had these split-second moments where, okay, there's only a split moment where this pocket of space is going to be available. Demidov has to enter and exit at the right time, and he does that, and he gets the goal as a result. I'm thinking about it like, hey, when he's in the NHL, when he's got Lane Hudson, Nick Suzuki, and Juraj Slafkovsky feeding him passes, as long as those guys can maintain their passing awareness, this Demidov dude is going to score a whole bunch of goals in the National Hockey League, alongside of Laine, alongside of Caulfield. Assuming best case scenario, let's say Demidov has a Mishkov-like impact with the Montreal Canadiens next year. I don't think it's too out of the realm of possibility for the Canadiens to have upwards of 4 20-goal scorers, and maybe even 3 30-goal scorers. I mean, if Demidov gets 30 goals in the National Hockey League next year, obviously that would be great. I don't know if it'd be all too surprising, though. You think about the rest of the guys, though. Nick Suzuki can get goals. Okay, yeah. Cole Caulfield can get goals. Juraj Slafkovsky had 20 last year. I mean, is there a world where Laine, Caulfield, Demidov, and Suzuki get 30 goals on a season? Demidov, if he gets 20 alongside of Slafkovsky, that's probably realistic, right? I don't know, that's all assuming he has a Mishkov-like impact, or maybe even he's better than Mishkov, who really knows. I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. How do you feel about Ivan Demidov's first ever KHL hat trick? What are your thoughts on him kind of goofing around with the hat on his head, and how adorable is it that he's able to exhibit that level of success in the KHL with a smile on his face? Let me know your thoughts in the comments about the goals and everything else. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.